We Are ND Nation podcast, a new era of Irish football with your host, me, Evan J. Thomas, and my new co-host, Dennis Stover, as we will bring you special guests throughout the season. We will go deep with your Irish football coverage in a way that you haven't seen or heard before. Dennis and Evan are just two best friends, lifelong Irish fans, bringing you the best Notre Dame football coverage, analysis, and our opinions on a weekly basis. You can watch or listen to the We Are ND Nation podcast on YouTube every Friday during the season on wearendnation.com. Follow us on the socials. We are ND Nation. Go Irish. Welcome, Irish fans. This is the We Are ND Nation podcast, episode number 6. I am Evan J. Thomas, and with me is my co-host, the one and only Dennis Stover. What is up, dude?
What's going on, man?
All right, what did you just say to me right before we jumped on?
This team sucks, or this team is terrible?
This team sucks.
Yeah.
Well, they suck at home. That is for sure.
I'll say.
Why they can't win a freaking game at home or play well, I have no clue. So what is it, so this past week, Notre Dame lost at home 16-14 against Stanford, who absolutely blows ass.
Well, we missed the BYU game, so that was good.
We'll get back and we'll get into that one in a little bit. But Notre Dame was scoring for the last two games up until this past week. But our first reactions of watching this, what you call college football game, this past Saturday, what was your reaction after seeing that game, Dennis?
Stanford hasn't, up until last Saturday, did not beat an FBS team for 11 games, was it?
Something like that.
So it's inexcusable. It's really, really just a bad loss. And to think that Marshall also has not beat an FBS school since they beat Notre Dame. So both those games also, as you said, were at home. They just, I have no fucking clue. It's just not good. I think that's coaching, a lot of it. They couldn't tackle for some reason.
Yep. There was no
I was screaming the whole game, like, why are they not tackling? Not good.
Offense, like, there was no running game for the first time in a few weeks, too.
I don't know what that offensive game plan was, but I guess it's always like, as soon as that false start penalty, the first play of the game, I was like, this is not going to be a good game.
Yeah. I mean, at least in the Cal game, Pine played well in the second half. But in that first half, he played like crap. This game, he was, and I'll just run over the stats real quick, 13-27, 151 yards. He was under 500 for the, 50%. One touchdown. Running backs, 34 carries for 150 yards and one touchdown. I mean, they were putting up numbers before last week, and it just shut down.
Yeah, it was. I really, I don't know if I'll say anything on execution. I mean, the fumble, Estime's fumble was not.
That definitely, obviously,
not timely, and not. That's two right when he's going in to score. He's got two fumbles on the year right when he's getting ready to score. That's not good. Again, where's Tyree at? I mean,
I don't know, and that's a great question on where he's been, and not only that, but I mean, Estime's good. But he's still
he's great.
So it's like
Diggs looked. I don't know. I just Tommy again, not very good. They look lost. They look unmotivated. The place seemed very quiet,
which it was apparently. I was the first home game I haven't been at this year. Looking at the number of carries, Estime had 8, Diggs had 9, Tyree with 8, and then Drew Pine scrambled 6 times. So you're not even really handing it. I mean, Tyree, like, I think he was one of your preseason MVPs or standout players.
Well, they're not giving him or just allowing him to do things to put him in situations to. I don't know. The kid doesn't fumble. I'm not down an estimate, trust me. But it's just they just
That's
they really don't look well coached.
and is that offensive or is that head coaching?
Oh, overall, I'm not gonna go as far as say to well. I think if anybody, I'm not gonna say Freeman should be fired. Even that would be ridiculous at this point.
That's a little a little blowing your load too.
But I will say Tommy Rees should definitely be in some kind of hey man, you gotta do a little bit better, or come the end of the year you might be let go. I just because it's just inexcusable at this point. How long has he been calling plays there for? Like 4 years now.
At least three. But remember, Brian Kelly did it for most of the time up until middle of last year. I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh no, I know. I'm pretty sure Reese wasn't call, or excuse me, Kelly wasn't calling plays for a good 2 years, maybe
okay.
longer.
I could be wrong.
Because I remember even before Reese was, I forget the offensive coordinator before Reese, but anywho, I think it was, damn, what was his name? Dude he was from Alabama, Chip Long.
Chip Long, yeah, there you go.
Chip Long. He was calling offensive plays. I think that was the first time Kelly let it go. So
gotcha. Well, I will say at least the positives. I mean, you had the freshman Merriweather.
positive.
What there's a couple positives. You had Merriweather with one catch for 41 yards, his first ever.
Should have had two. Pine overthrew him.
He did, and I mean, big time. And that kid looked
so
like
open.
he was going to be a stud.
Yeah, he's
Speaking
really
of studs, who do we have at tight end? But the one and only Michael Myers. I mean, Mayer. I just like Sam.
Yeah.
But that dude is just dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
But they looked at him way too much.
I was just gonna say they stare him down. He just stares him down, and it's just. Plus, there was a couple of calls. Those refs were not kind to any pass interference.
And I'm never gonna really say it's ever a ref's fault, especially.
No, I'm not either. I'm just.
But yes, you're right. There are calls that could have gone Notre Dame's way rather than especially some of those pass interference calls. And I think there was even a play where Drew Pine got like nailed head on and nothing was even called on it.
I remember seeing a face mask that I was like, holy cow, I forgot. I think it was a running play. It might have been estimate. I was like, Jesus Christ.
So speaking of Michael Mayer, he had 5 catches, 60 yards, probably his second least amount of catches all year. But the 2 games prior, man, he was just busted out. This guy, he's going to be I think he's listed in the top 15 for this year's upcoming draft already.
Oh, already? Really?
Yeah, he was in one of them top 15. I mean, look at it. I mean, look at Pitts when he came out a couple years ago. I think he went 7th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mayer has been putting up numbers with basically no other offense around him this year.
Yeah, and not even a half mediocre at best quarterback.
Yeah, you don't have a Cohen like you did, and you don't have Book like you did either. So it's
right,
you've had basically average quarterback play so far. Now let's get into the defense. You were saying like just missed tackles all game. What
missed tackles? I don't know if I care for I think Liafu should go to a roll off the bench or certain. I don't know if he should be on the field as much as he is, and some of these other linebackers. I think they need to let these young kids play. I mean, at this point, like Prince Collie. Oh God, who else am I thinking? Where's Jordan Botello at? Like, where's he been?
I'm looking down the list. He had 1 tackle.
Yeah, and it was special teams.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's out or been hurt or something.
But then what's funny too is like this staff is not getting these star players outside of Mayer. Like, where's Foskey been? I know Ademiola, one of them was injured, but the other one had a pretty good game. I think it was Jason. But the linebacker, I don't know. They take bad angles to the ball.
Jacob Lacey just went into a protocol to leave the school.
I have no idea why.
So, I mean, middle of the season, that usually does not happen.
Injuries are piling up too. They're starting to
Yeah.
injuries are starting to show
Like you said,
their
Bo
head.
is out for the season on an injury. I think it was in
Yeah.
practice earlier in the week. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, you don't have you don't have the linebackers that we had for a while. So it's like it's kind of scary kind of watching it. You got
They
Bertrand.
do. They just seem. I don't know if they play out of position or they're just not put in the right place or they're playing too many positions. I know they were saying in the game. I also have been reading that I think it's Kaiser has been like moving in and out, and it's just
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kaiser has five
I don't see
tackles.
any real. They just didn't look like they wanted to be there. None of them. And Stanford's a fucking terrible team.
So I was just going to say that about the defense. So Notre Dame's defense, just on sacks, they had one sack. They had a total of three quarterback hurries, three all game. So their defensive line, especially with Foskey, who's supposed to be anchoring that line, can't even get through
I
to
don't get it.
a
I'm not sure.
subpar.
Yeah, maybe Al Golden is not. Who knows? I don't have an answer.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Because I can't sit here and blame. I read a good article earlier today. I think it was Joshua Vowles or whatever, and he made it. It's like we were expecting kind of like a Ryan Day thing, which Ryan Day had never been a head coach either, I don't believe. And that's what's so disappointing is because our talent level was supposed to be there, and it's just not getting like they look bad on the field, and then they look confused on the sideline.
Yeah, and I mean, long time getting plays in and just kind of executing. I mean, the executing is probably the hardest part, especially when you see there's not even like separation from some of these wide receivers, except for Mayer and the one couple plays that Merriweather had.
Mm, I still wonder if there was a if Drew Pine was a little bit of a above average quarterback, um, if he'd be making more of those. Maybe he's missing the receivers and not seeing them downfield. I don't know. Can all you're telling me every single receiver like Brendan Lindsey's not getting open,
Yeah,
Lorenzo Styles isn't getting open. I haven't heard of Deion Colsey at all, or
no, none of them. So, do you think it could be just a quarterback issue? Do you think they should go to Angelini?
I mean, would if it's a poor showing against a UNLV, which
It could
like
be. You might have
yeah,
a flat first half.
it could be awful. They're outscored like in the first quarter, something like 27-6 in the first quarter. That's terrible.
That is pedestrian for this era of college.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like Brian left the team with no talent, nobody. This isn't like guys that were on the team that the last 3 years that have won 10 games. You know,
Yeah,
that's why I'm just saying, like, I'm starting to think this coaching is, and how much leeway are we going to give Freeman?
good question. Well, if you follow anybody on Twitter, they want his head already.
I'm sure people are already calling, which
They want Scott
that's
Frost.
not going to solve anything. Who are you going to
No.
bring in at this point?
Scott Frost and now Paul Christ.
Paul Chris.
I've heard that name being thrown out there already in the past week.
Wow.
And it's just fucking crazy.
Man, unless you can get a Dabo Sweeney or it's just like
you ain't getting Dabo and what's his name? Why can't I remember what's his name from that left Ohio State a couple years ago?
Urban Meyer?
Yeah, like I've never heard that name.
No.
People are so stupid when they come up with these names on who should fill in now. It's
wow, they don't even come up with anybody decent.
No, like nobody. Freaking Urban Meyer. I mean, that guy's been done for years.
Yeah, he's kind of toxic too. I mean, look at the shit he leaves behind when he leaves a program and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, you think of those Florida players like hell, Aaron Hernandez is dead now.
Fortunately, yes. And so is Tim Tebow's career. So anyway, so we were talking about Michael Mayer, and he just passed and is now the number one tight end in school history for what is it? I think it's just touchdowns so
Reception.
far.
No, it's receptions.
Receptions. Okay, so
It's not touchdowns yet. It's receptions.
He's getting there. He probably won't
He's
get
close. He's close to touchdowns.
Is he? Okay.
I believe so. And there's another one he's within shot up close to. I don't know. I don't know if it's yards. It might be yards. I think it's the big three: receptions, yards, and touchdowns. He's close to all of them. We might see. He might get one of the two.
Well, we are seeing history being made at least with him, so that's cool this year. But trying to get out to a game now, your tickets will be a lot cheaper, that's for sure. So if and when you come here, let me know. We're gonna go to break here shortly, but before break, you know what we do. You know what we do. I got a name for you, but I'm not gonna throw it out there obviously yet. We're gonna do name that former Notre Dame player. Are you ready, Dennis? I got this all set.
Yeah, man.
All right, ready to roll with this one. I think you can. For some reason, I have a good feeling you're going to get this. Running back, played from 1999 to 2003. Don't name a name yet. 99 to 2003. Attempts, 634. Yards, 3,018. 26 touchdowns. Receiving, 28 catches, 250 yards, 1 touchdown. You think you might know who it is?
Possibly. 99 to 2003.
I think you got a name. I know you got it.
I think so.
But we are going to take a quick little break. We'll be back. We're going to give our picks for the UNLV game and see how hopefully this Notre Dame team can actually put a game together at home for once. So let's see what we can do. So stick right here. We are the We Are ND Nation podcast. Dennis Stover, Evan J. Thomas, and we'll be right back. The E2B2 podcast featuring father and son duo Evan J. Thomas and
Brandon Thomas.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
As we discuss our lives.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Pop culture and some of the best movies.
John Wick.
Oh yeah, and some duds. Listen to the E2B2 podcast on BadassProductions1.com in the on-demand section under E2B2.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Or listen to Spotify, Google Podcasts, or almost anywhere you can get your podcasts.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet, but your kids are gonna love it.
Oh yeah, and Brandon, guess what?
No.
Yeah, we get it. You are my father.
We're back here on the We Are ND Nation podcast. Dennis Stover, Evan J. Thomas, episode number 6. We did miss a few weeks because our schedules just suck. So that's just what happened. So before the break, I gave Dennis some stats on a player that I have for Name This Former ND Player. And I'm going to read them off again.
Yeah, do it again.
See if Dennis can pull this off. So the year this running back played, 1999 to 2003. And let's see, he had 634 career attempts, 3,018 rushing yards, 26 career rushing touchdowns, 28 catches for 250 yards, and 1 TD. Dennis, who do you have for Name That Former ND Player?
Julius Jones.
Boom! I knew you got it.
Yeah.
This guy, he's rolling now with it. So yeah.
Well, that last one, that ring, I'm still reeling over the Reba McKnight one.
And you actually said his name, but then you went another direction with it too.
Yeah.
I think that was the show that we had Lisa on, right? Lisa Kelly?
Yeah.
It was. So yeah, Dennis nails this one. So great job.
Woo, thank you.
We're going to then move on to this upcoming week. So we have a good game against UNLV this Saturday, 1:30 p.m. on Peacock at home. Peacock. It's so
that
weird.
Crowd's gonna be so lame and quiet.
Oh my god! Tickets are going for like $40 right now.
Is that right?
It's like $40 to go to that game.
I mean, it was a pretty pathetic home schedule to begin with, but now you have a bad football team you're putting on the field, and who's really bad at home. Woof! $40? Holy shit!
I paid what, 42 for what was it? One of the last games I went to. It was like 42.
That's pretty good.
And the BC game at the end of the year is probably only going to be like $50 too. So we'll see.
This is like, didn't we go to like 2 games? The fucking was it 2009 year, the 3-9 year? Because we sat through that USC game. Evan Sharp, remember we sat through that fucking game?
Oh yeah, there's been a few USC games that I've sat.
And there was another one we sat through that year. I forget who it was. I'd have to look at my tickets.
Well, if you remember, I sat through the 2007 opening game against Georgia Tech. That was just absolutely brutal.
Oh wow,
that was the
Demetrius Jones.
It is 3 seconds of fame.
Wasn't Notre Dame like ranked in the top 5 too, or some shit?
Yeah, and they lost. I think it was 35-3.
Yeah, it was
38-3. My bad.
That was the same year.
As
so
the
it was
USC
2007 then.
2007. Yes,
that was the same year
because it was like the same score. It was like 20.
Yeah,
like 38.
Mark Sanchez was on that USC
team. Sat there like this the whole time. That was a green jersey game too.
Yeah, the first time they busted out those, like the 77 game, was it?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Now they busted it out a lot. I mean, they just did it 2 weeks ago against.
Yeah.
Who did they do it against?
It was the Cal.
The Cal game, that's right.
Yeah.
So those jerseys were pretty sweet, though, I do have to say.
They're all right.
All right, looking at what we have coming up for UNLV.
Yeah, what's next? Okay.
So UNLV, 4-3 on the year. Their quarterback, let's see, passing yards. Shit, slow. So they're score. What are they scoring? Per game, 29 points per game on offense. They're actually 6 points better than Notre Dame right now on offense.
Okay.
Defense are giving up 27. Total offensive
running game.
Yeah, it's going to be a busting game. Total offensive yards for UNLV averaging 358. Notre Dame's at 379. Total yards allowed for UNLV 378 to Notre Dame's 347. So actually pretty well matched, which is really fucking sad.
Yeah.
And what was I seeing for the betting lines and stuff? Where's it at? So Notre Dame is a 24.5-point favorite.
How, a 24.5?
24.5-point favorite.
Wow.
Over under of 47. So that basically means that Vegas is saying that Notre Dame is going to put up like 40 points compared to UNLV.
Who has UNLV beat and lost to?
Let me look that up really quick. I will pull that up for you as we speak. So they've beaten Idaho State, UNT, whoever that is,
North
USU,
Texas,
and University of New Mexico. So they lost to Cal 20-14. They lost to San Jose State 40-7. And they lost to Air Force 42-7. Last week they lost to Air Force 42-7.
So they're coming off a loss.
Not only losses, but 2 really bad losses where they gave up 82 points and only scored 14 total.
That's why Vegas is giving them that spread.
So, yeah, I kind of see that now with that. And the fact that when they beat UNT, they scored 58 points. So they put up 52 in the first week. So they've been putting up some decent numbers, obviously, for sure. But can you see that sustained against this Notre Dame team? And what do you think Notre Dame's going to pull out?
Well, maybe – I don't know about the offense. I really can't – I don't even know if I'll make a prediction on the offense, but I'd like to think the defense maybe will have – could they finally – is this the opponent they can have a complete game against? I hope so.
Let's say yes, because that's what I'm hoping for.
That's what I'll say. That's yeah. The offense, if they stick with the running game and don't try to do a jet sweep on fucking 3rd and goal when you got that line, and then also I read too that I guess Freeman overheard, or he hears on the headphones, Reese go, "Oh, that's the wrong formation for us, or we're not in the right matchup." And meanwhile, and then Freeman was like, "I should have called a timeout in that moment." It's like, well, Yeah,
Why
coach,
didn't
you
you?
should have, man.
Why didn't you?
You're gonna score. Like, you got to take the fucking points. It's fourth and goal, and you run a jet fucking sweep with that
Oh
big
my
ass line.
God! See, I
That's
didn't
the
hear
thing.
that.
The fucking offensive the Notre Dame offensive line was averaging 305 to 315, some shit like that. And the Stanford defensive line is averaging barely even 270.
That's what I mean.
Are you fucking kidding me? You can't get and push those cats over for 1 yard?
I mean, they were averaging basically what, not even 4 yards a carry last week.
With a running back who's 230 pounds.
Yeah, he's a beast. That guy is just huge. So
Cover the fucking ball and run the goddamn ball. Yeah. So it's just really like it reminds me of like the early years of Kelly, which everyone's making the comparison. Oh, well, Dabo Sweeney went 15-12 in his first 2 seasons at Clemson, and it's like, yeah, that could be the case, which hopefully it will be the case, but it's hard right now. We got a little spoiled as Notre Dame fans too, being Notre Dame fans.
That is true.
With the last five years, or you can even go, what is it, 6 out of 7 or 5? Yeah, 6 out of 7 years we
won 10 games.
I haven't seen that shit since the fucking late 80s, early 90s, man.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So it was fantastic for me the last couple. I guess that's why the talent was finally there, and it's just disappointing.
Yeah. The way I'm looking at it is, I actually think Pine will probably. I'm just hoping he puts up some good numbers, and not just good numbers, but accuracy. He needs to be.
Well, he is accurate when those.
Not last week.
Well, no, I know that, but against NC, UNC, and against fucking BYU. Hell, UNC's back. They've only lost 1 game, and it was to us.
Exactly. And like I said, this has to be at home. So for some reason, this home crowd, or whatever the stress is that they're doing at home, is getting to them because they can't perform at home. So this is what I mean about being accurate, at least at home this time, because he was really good at the BYU game. He was really good at North Carolina, but he needs to be really good at home. Because this schedule, your bye week's already over.
Yeah.
So you don't have any time now to kind of play around and see what's going to go on now.
Well, after what, and then we have Clemson and Syracuse back to back. Those are 2 losses.
Yeah, you have Syracuse, number 14 Syracuse, and then Clemson back to back after UNLV. So then you have Navy, BC, and USC to finish off. And you're going to get whacked.
I'm so glad they lost. That was great. Did you watch any of the Bama Tennessee
I watched that whole
Holy shit. What a football game.
That was amazing. The ending of that was great.
That game was so fun.
Yeah, and just seeing and did you all right, we're gonna run into this one. Did you see what the aftermath of that in Tennessee?
Yeah, the field goals, and I guess they tossed them in the river too.
So they pulled down the goalpost. They walked it down Nyland, or outside of the stadium, down the street into the river, and threw it in there. And apparently, the Tennessee Volunteers school is being fined $100,000 for the second offense of having people on the field. How are you supposed to stop 30,000 people from running onto the field?
You can't.
You gotta shoot them with fucking like paintball.
Well,
rubber bullets.
Anyway,
can't do it. So
it doesn't surprise. They might.
They might, but now Tennessee's up to what, number 4, I think it was, and Alabama dropped down to 6.
Yeah,
something like that. What we were saying about Drew Pine and the offense, I'm just hoping that the offense actually clicks better this week than last week. And we always say this: you got to establish the run, and you just have to hit your studs. And I'm hoping they give Merriweather a lot more time at wide receiver. Why not? Good.
I play a lot of them younger kids. Depending, I think Bracey was banged up, so they're playing young kids at cornerback. It's starting to show in the secondary. They get exposed a lot. But if they would just tackle, that would go a long way.
Sure.
I don't know how many first and second, hell, even third tackles Stanford again is just a terrible fucking football team, and fuck. It's really hard not to scream and throw things right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously losing to Stanford was rough at home. To me, actually losing to Marshall was worse. But
well, yeah, and you were at that game, especially coming off the Ohio State game. You felt somewhat decent about the team, like, oh shit, we had the lead for 3 quarters, and then the fact that Marshall goes out and hasn't beaten an FBS team since then. It's just like, what is this fucking team? Like, who is this ND team?
They really have no identity right now except for Michael Mayer. That is it.
It's well, everybody knows.
It's crazy. And I mean, basically, if defenses were smart, you just stick on him, double him up.
It reminds me of the year. What was the year we played Army at Yankee Stadium? And it was like that was the year it was all about Tyler Eifert.
Was that what?
15? 13 or 14, some shit like that. Yeah.
Oh God. So I'm looking at Marshall's record. They've had one win since they beat us.
Yeah, and it's an FCS school, no? It's like, geez Louise. So offense, yeah, that's.
But yeah, let's definitely get some yards. Just be accurate. That's kind of all I'm asking for is all that. You have any last words on what they should do, and do we have an offensive MVP or anything like offensive defensive MVP?
Keep running the ball. Keep running the ball. I don't know. I just these plays that sometimes they execute. Like, I wish they would. Marcus Freeman keeps saying it. I don't even want to say the word execution now. I'm gonna think about it. So never mind. I'm not going to say that because it's overused now at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just maybe come out with some kind of emotion.
Yeah, exactly. Emotion, get the crowd going, and don't lay another egg at home. That's it. Yeah. That's all I ask for. Don't lay an egg at home. I'm going to go my offensive MVP. I'm hoping Drew Pine puts up some good fucking numbers. That's it.
You're going to say Drew Pine?
That's it. Yep. That's what I'm hoping for, because if he goes well, the team's going to win.
I'll go Merriweather.
All right. I'm hoping he comes out too, because that man.
I mean, Pine would have a decent game, right? I mean,
exactly. I'm following his dad on Twitter, Dom Merriweather. Follow that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's been pretty good. All right, do you have a prediction for this week's game? I just put up a number, which I'll tell you in a second.
Notre Dame again was what, 24?
24.
Geez, maybe Notre Dame. I would say. Let's go more points. Notre Dame 28. No. Notre Dame 24. 24-20.
Okay, so you're gonna think it's gonna be a lot closer than I do.
I mean, I can't hope for a blowout. I would, but I can't hope for a blowout, but they're not. I can't realistically pick that.
All right. Well, I have one correct score prediction on the year. I have this one being 38-17 Notre Dame.
Wow. Good.
Because, like you said, I'm hoping this is why I'm saying Drew Pine's going to be the MVP of this game, because if they score 38, that means he put up some numbers and put up some yards. So, hopefully we have this happening. And then 17, I don't know. I just don't see UNLV, but it's UNLV's Super Bowl. That's how everybody comes to our stadium.
Yeah, it's everybody's bowl game.
I mean, who would have thought that we'd be seeing the Running Rebels? They even call the Running Rebels anymore, or just the Rebels?
I don't know.
Because I mean, back in our high school days when you and I were.
It was basketball school, man.
Yeah, it was basketball school. Oh, hey, man. UNLV, one of their best players ever was Randall Cunningham. My man.
Yeah, this is true. That's right.
So, yeah, he played quarterback, and guess who was his backup? Do you remember?
For the Eagles?
No, for UNLV.
No.
He was, what's his name? From ESPN, the white-haired guy. Kenny Mayne was his backup.
Kenny Mayne played quarterback at UNLV.
As a backup to Randall Cunningham.
That's pretty good.
Very
That's a good one.
I only know that because he's been on our radio show in Chicago. So I heard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No fan question this week?
No fan questions. I didn't have a chance to ask any, so nothing like that. That's why I didn't really announce that at the beginning of the show. So the only fan question would be, do you think Notre Dame will win or lose? So there you go. But asked by me.
Asked by you. Oh, okay. Nice.
And I'm going to say they win, as I already predicted, 38-17. Dennis said 24-20.
Yeah.
I think that's what you said. All right. So, Dennis, let's hopefully go for an Irish win.
I hope so, man.
We're down to the clock, so we're going to have
let's show some emotion so then we can have, a better.
So maybe we'll have some more emotion next week.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of being like,
we'll have an awesome special guest on. We'll see what happens.
Couldn't even talk about stats or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, hey, you see that game? That was amazing.
If I had to hear that fucking turn, that slow mesh bullshit again, I was like, the slow mesh play. Jason Garrett's pretty fucking terrible.
He is bad regardless. So, yeah. Oh, my God.
That guy's hard to listen to, man.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening once again to the We Are ND Nation podcast. Make sure you follow us on the socials on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on YouTube. We also have a new T-shirt design, which I finally got in the mail.
Oh, neat, man.
So that's here. I will definitely get you one very soon. You can check us out at wearendnation.com. You can follow me on the socials, Evan J. Thomas, all over. And like I said, get the T-shirts. And until next week, Dennis, got any last words for today's show? I know one last word you're going to say, but before that.
I don't even think I'm going to muster up anymore the fuck Michigan again because they're really good and we're kind of fucking shit right now. So it would be kind of petty of me. I mean, everybody knows how I feel about Michigan at this point. So
I'm going to say it's not petty because I'm going to say this. Fuck the Bears, Chicago. Fuck Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys, fuck them too, and fuck Michigan. So there you go.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know. Let's I wish Freeman would start looking like a coach. I know he's first year head coach, but sometimes just do something, my man.
Don't look like a first year head coach. That's what you want him to do.
Sure, okay, sure. Maybe I misspoke, but yeah, it's fucking the whole staff. Like the whole staff is just, it's like they never coached a football game in their life.
Yeah, look like you know what you're doing. And
you know what? Yeah, if I got one last word for this show, fucking make a tackle.
There you go.
First time.
That's all we need to do. And make plays. And until next week, Dennis,
go Irish.
Go Irish. Fuck Michigan.
Yeah, man, fuck Michigan.
We Are ND Nation podcast, a new era of Irish football with your host, me, Evan J. Thomas, and my new co-host, Dennis Stover, as we will bring you special guests throughout the season. We will go deep with your Irish football coverage in a way that you haven't seen or heard before. Dennis and Evan are just two best friends, lifelong Irish fans, bringing you the best Notre Dame football coverage, analysis, and our opinions on a weekly basis. You can watch or listen to the We Are ND Nation podcast on YouTube every Friday during the season on wearendnation.com. Follow us on the socials. We are ND Nation. Go Irish.